everybody, my name is Susanne Pech from the law firm CMS in Germany. I want to give you a brief update about the hot topic in the German cannabis industry at the moment, the upcoming legalization of recreational cannabis in Germany. So let's start with the current legal situation of cannabis in Germany. Since 2017, medical cannabis is legal in Germany. So it is in general possible to buy, sell, grow or import cannabis for medical purposes in Germany. According to the German Narcotics Act, an authorization is necessary for all forms of businesses with medical cannabis. The cultivation of medical cannabis is handled by means of a tender process. The German Cannabis Agency appointed 3 companies that are now allowed to grow cannabis for medical purposes in Germany in a total amount of 10,400 kilograms and only for 4 years. Patients can have access to medical cannabis in the form of dried blossoms or extracts, and only if they have a prescription by their physician, and only in case of a very serious illness. But in the case that all these requirements are met, the patients have the right to get reimbursed by the German health insurer for this cannabis therapy. On the other hand, the recreational use of cannabis is not permitted in Germany yet. So what is planned to change this in Germany? The new German government was elected in September 2021, plans to legalize recreational cannabis in Germany. According to the coalition treaty between the 3 governing parties, the government plans a controlled distribution of recreational cannabis to adults and only in licensed shops. So in general, very good news for the industry, but there are many questions regarding the legalization which are still open. For example, in which licensed stores shall the cannabis be sold? Some argue that only pharmacists shall be allowed to sell recreational cannabis because they already have the experience with medical cannabis and the professional background. But others argue that in this case the hurdles would be too high for normal people to buy cannabis if they have to go to pharmacies for their recreational cannabis, and that they still would buy illegal cannabis on the streets. Another big problem is how the increasing demand will be met. Experts estimate that the cannabis grown in Germany would by far not be enough to meet the new increasing demand for recreational use, and that Germany very much would depend on imports from outside, from other countries. And however, imports and exports of recreational cannabis from other countries are forbidden at the moment by international law. Therefore, it remains to be seen how the legalization of recreational cannabis will be implemented in German law and how the details will look like. Lastly, what is the current time frame for the legalization? The coalition treaty did not set a certain time frame for the realization of the legalization. Due to other important topics like the Ukraine crisis and the COVID pandemic, it seemed that the legalization is not the most pressing issue for the new government. However, recently it became public that the budget committee of the German parliament put pressure on the responsible Federal Ministry of Health by threatening to block funds in the case that the health ministry will not have a draft for the legalization by the end of the year. So the Ministry of Health now announced that they will publish the draft law in the second half of this year. However, it will still take some time until the new law will come into force, since the law will have to pass the German Parliament and the German Federal Council. So the law may not come into force until the end of 2023 or even 2024. So this was my quick update on the situation regarding recreational cannabis in Germany. Many thanks for your attention, and please do not hesitate to contact me in case of any questions.